Thank you. Bang, bang, bang. You're dead. Why are you dead? You didn't have a gun to protect yourself. Jonathan here could not have climbed out of his chair, come over the table, and taken the gun away from me before I shot him. Once you're gone, everybody else goes, because you're the closest one. This is what I'm afraid gun control can do to a country. It's not good. There are three things I would like to share with you where gun control actually does work. Because it does. There are points where it does, and places it does. There are also places it does not. And why gun control cannot work in the United States. Gun control actually works in Japan, the island off of China. Interesting place. Technologically savvy, very low crime rates, and virtually no guns in that country at all. A lot of people contribute their low crime rates to have their strict gun control laws. But is that really what keeps the low crime rate? David Kaplan doesn't think so in his article, More Stress But Still Safer, because criminologists offer various explanations for why they have low gun control, low crime rates. Not just because of their gun control, because of the strict family honor system. It scares everybody. Because what it does is say, Marcos goes and does some heinous crime. Alright, but if he does that crime, his family is subject to criticism. His cousin can lose his job because of what Marcos did. His family will probably turn him in just to keep their honor up. Because that's how strict their honor system is. If you don't have honor, you can't get a job. You can't find work. Some people may not even be able to go to college because of what a relative did. That's bad. That's interesting, but scary. That's why criminals don't really do much criminal activity in Japan. Moving on. Another island. Britain. They completely banned handguns in 1997 because they had a high crime rate. They wanted to drop it. Banned handguns. It didn't work quite like they had hoped. Britain's gun control not working by outdoor life puts it this way. In the 4 years after 1997, 1998 through 2002, their gun crime rate, after they completely banned it, it doubled. It went from down here to way up here. In just 4 years. That's not the scariest part. During that same time frame, robbery went up 45%. And murder went up 54%. It had a complete adverse effect to what they wanted it to have. It did not work. It was a complete failure. And the citizens of Britain suffered from it. Now, why gun control cannot work in the United States? Morton A. Kaplan put it this way in How Good Are Guns? The World and I. Harsh laws put forth to control guns, they mean well. They want to protect society and the people in it. They want fewer guns in society so fewer people can get shot. That's a very good concept, but it's not that simple. Even though there are fewer guns in society, there are few guns for normal citizens to protect themselves. And criminals don't really obey law. Let me put it in this aspect. You have your law-abiding citizen over here. He doesn't own a gun. He has no way of protecting himself if he gets shot at. Once he's shot at, all he can do is run and hope the guy doesn't shoot him. You have Mr. Criminal over here who doesn't care what the law says, and he illegally obtained a gun. He can go around shooting anybody he wants without fear of being shot back at. Because he knows nobody else except him has a gun. Because it's illegal. Completely illegal for anybody who's law-abiding to own it. That's very scary. Because he can, if there were strict gun control laws banning handguns here, he could come through that door and come shoot every one of you without being worried. because he knows you don't have a gun. That's a scary thing. To conclude, gun control can work. It can. But it needs something else to help it along. It needs something scarier to keep criminals from committing crime. Japan put it perfectly. It doesn't hurt you. It hurts your entire family. That scares criminals more than a gun would. Britain tried it. It failed miserably. It did not work because they didn't have what Japan did. No one was afraid. They went out shooting people. That's why gun control can't work here in the U.S. We don't have strict honor systems. We ban guns. We're going to turn up just like Britain. So just know this. Guns don't kill people. They sit on a shelf completely loaded. They're not going to shoot anybody. Because guns don't kill people. They don't. People kill people. Thank you.
Ryan?
Howdy, oh. Well then, I agree with you in that banning guns is a bad idea in Britain. I see your point, but I don't think gun control, I don't think that's an equivocal sentiment to the gun, controlling the output of guns, because your argument in some ways contradicts itself. Because you say that gun control wouldn't work because people already have massive amounts of guns. And if no one's taking those guns away by slowing the flow or putting on more restrictions as to how gun control is implemented, that's not going to take away those firearms, and that's what, in your argument, seems to have caused great Britain to start shooting themselves off. But I do agree with you in that gun control by itself will not curb crime rate. But otherwise, I'm not quite so convinced. But that's my.
But what I was trying to say was, when you completely ban guns, people who follow the law and don't own guns, they don't have a way to protect
I
themselves.
thought that your argument was that gun control was bad in general, not you should ban all guns, because that's not the same situation. It's not the same.
Criminals have different ways to get guns than a law-abiding citizen does. They can illegally find it on a black market and go shoot someone else because it's easier for them to obtain a gun than a regular person. And a regular person would not seek out the black market to find it.
But that's harder for criminals to do. I'm just wondering, are you arguing that, are you arguing against taking away all guns, or are you arguing against gun control? Because they seem like two different situations with England as your primary example. Japan is, you brought up a very good reason for why gun control works in Japan, but I'm
So,
finding different
Ryan, why
ways.
don't you give him a chance to answer that, and then we're going to move on after that.
Gun control, it regulates who and who cannot own it legally. Criminals do not care if it's legal or illegal to own something like a gun. That's all it is. Criminals can still shoot somebody with an illegal intent. Yes, Shane?
Yes. I see speech. You did very, very well, very calm, kind of respectful. Personally, I don't share the same views, but you did very, very, very well with facts. I do have that same question with Brian. What is your main argument? Are you against gun control in general, like more stricter, or are you don't want it to be completely banned? Because I liked your examples; they were very good examples. However, yeah, go ahead. I'm baffling.
Strict gun control and banning guns, they are two different things. But some countries say strict gun control is completely banning guns. They say they're the exact same thing. That's what Britain did.
But couldn't we regulate like it would be? We have speed guns.
The way we regulate it here in the United States, you have to go through certain channels to get a certain type of weapon, like an assault rifle or a handgun. It is very difficult to get one. for a normal citizen. But a criminal can go to, say, Mexico or the black market anywhere and just find one, because that's the way they do it. That's the way they've always done it.
All right.
And it's not a legal weapon.
Yes.
Yes, Mark.
So in our shop, we had a guy, like two older couple coming from Great Britain, and they're like, "You really see guns? Like this is like so weird to us." No, I just want to say that. Now, do you think in the United States? It was just really weird. They were looking at him like.
Okay, but just give the question, Snow.
Do you think in the United States there should be a universal throughout all states gun, like, how to obtain it? Because each state mostly like have their own set of criteria. Like in the state of Texas, you can get it in 10 minutes. In California, you have to wait 30 days. I don't know.
Okay, so Snow, let him answer the question. Those are great statistics, though.
So your question is, should it be a universal law over the entire
All
United States?
states should follow just one rule to get, or like.
That's difficult to answer, because not all states want to follow it.
Okay, we'll leave that there. Any other questions on this?
I don't know.
Any other questions? Good job. Thank you so much. Thanks for good questions, guys. We're moving